Okay, Fire 34, all about ISAs. Delete the other ones previously. All right, let's talk about ISAs for all my British buddies out there who think they know a bit about ISAs but probably have a bit more to learn. And first things first, I'm not your financial advisor. I don't know if you're saving for a house, retirement, or a lifetime supply of Greggs sausage rolls. I'm also not British. So this is just a broad overview so you can get an idea of these accounts and then go and do your own research. What works for me might not work for you. But I'll break down the different ISAs, the pros and cons, and how to actually use them without wasting your allowance. And I'm sure there's some people out there that know a lot more than me, so please add it into the comments, criticize. Let us all know what else is up with these. So what's an ISA? It's basically the UK government saying, hey, you can save or invest money here, and whatever you make, interest, dividends, or capital gains, is tax-free. That's the whole pitch. And the kicker is, it's a permanent shield. Once your money's inside an ISA, it doesn't matter how much it grows, the taxman can't touch it. But, and it's a big but, there are limits. Every year you get a set allowance you can put into ISAs. Right now it's £20,000 per year total, and that's across all your ISAs combined. So you can't chuck £20,000 into a cash ISA and another £20,000 into a stocks and shares ISA and another £20,000 into your lifetime ISA. It's £20,000 total. And here's the important bit. If you don't use it, you lose it. It doesn't roll over. So the clock resets every tax year. And let's go through the types. The most basic one, a cash ISA, is just a savings account where the interest you earn is tax-free. Sounds good on paper, but here's the thing. Interest rates are usually garbage. And even if you're getting, say, 2% on £5,000, that's £100 a year tax-free. Not exactly life-changing, especially when the UK already gives you a personal savings allowance, which means you can earn £1,000 in interest tax-free anyway if you're a basic rate taxpayer. So unless you've got a huge amount of cash, the cash ISA isn't really doing much for you. It's basically a waste of your £20,000 allowance compared to what a stocks and shares ISA can do. The only time I'd say a cash ISA makes sense is if you're terrified of investing or you need your money within a year or two. Otherwise, skip it. Now, let's talk stocks and shares ISA. This is where the magic happens. You can invest in stocks, bonds, ETFs, funds, and all your gains, dividends, and profits are tax-free. Normally in the UK, you'd pay capital gains tax once your profits go over £3,000 per year, and dividend tax once you're over £500 in dividends. With an ISA, you don't worry about any of that. You can put £20,000 in today, let it grow to £200,000 over the years, and when you withdraw, it's all yours. No tax bill ever. That's why most people max this before even looking at cash ISAs. And you can take money out whenever you want, no penalties. The LISA or Lifetime ISA, this one's a bit special. It's designed for first-time home buyers or for retirement. You can contribute up to £4,000 per year, and the government gives you a 25% bonus. So put in £4,000, they give you £1,000. Free money. Sounds amazing, right? Well, there are strings attached. You can only use it in two ways. To buy your first home, worth up to £450,000, or for retirement, but you can't touch it until you're 60. If you take it out for anything else, you get smacked with a 25% penalty, which, by the way, isn't just losing the bonus, it actually claws back some of your own money too. So ISAs are powerful, but you've got to be sure you'll use it for one of those two purposes. And last but not least is the IF ISA, or Innovative Finance ISA. This is less common. It lets you invest in peer-to-peer lending platforms, crowdfunding debentures, less liquid investments, and get the interest tax-free. Sounds cool, but it's risky as hell. If the people you're lending to don't pay back, you're screwed. Not for beginners, but it's there. There is a lot more to this, but I won't go into it here. Now, the withdrawal rules. A cash ISA, take it out anytime, no penalty. A stocks and shares ISA, also withdraw whenever you want, but the market can go up and down, so your balance might be lower if you take it out during a crash. The LISA, you can withdraw penalty-free only if it's for a first home or after age 60. Anything else at 25% penalty. And then the IF ISA depends on the platform, but generally flexible once loans are repaid. Important note, most ISAs are not flexible. If you take out £5,000, that doesn't free up £5,000 to put it back in later that year, unless your provider specifically offers a flexible ISA. So watch for that. Strategy, which to use first. If you're young and saving for a home, max out the LISA up to £4,000 per year. It's a free 25% bonus, which is unbeatable. After that, shove everything into a stocks and shares ISA. Let the cash ISA gather dust unless you really need short-term savings. If you're not saving for a house, then figure out if you should forget the LISA unless you want to lock money until 60. Then go all in on the stocks and shares ISA. The compounding tax-free growth is massive over decades. Here's a quick example. Let's say you max your £20,000 ISA allowance every year for 20 years. If you put it in a cash ISA earning 2%, you'll end up with about £495,666. Sounds good, but if you invested that in a stocks and shares ISA and averaged 10% per year, you'd have about 1.26 million. And every penny of that is tax-free. That's why putting your ISA money in cash is usually a waste. Final thoughts. The allowance of £20,000 per year across all ISAs doesn't carry over. The tax benefits, no income tax, no dividend tax, no capital gains tax ever. Cash ISA, safe but usually pointless. Stocks and shares ISA, best long-term growth, flexible withdrawals. And then the LISA, the free 25% bonus, but only for first home or retirement. IF ISA, niche, risky, only if you know what you're doing. So if you're in the UK and not using your ISA allowance, you're leaving free tax-sheltered growth on the table. It's one of the easiest legal hacks to build wealth. The only bad move, wasted it on a cash ISA when inflation's eating your money alive. So start investing now and come out and paddle on a lake on a random Tuesday afternoon while everybody else is stuck in traffic.